Dr. Y. Sarada, Professor, Department of Mathematics, Anna University. Her area of specialization is applied probability and stochastic modeling. She has about 25 research publications in national and international journals. She has guided students for research projects. She has delivered lectures in her area of specialization in many institutions.
Welcome to the UGC lecture series on queuing and reliability. Presently, we are looking into the queuing theory models. We started with the generalized Poisson queuing model, went on to derive the steady state probabilities and the performance measures for the particular models of single server model with infinite capacity. Then we saw the performance measures for the single server model with finite capacity. Today let us start with the third model for multi-server models with infinite capacity. So, the model 3 is a multi-server model with infinite capacity. The notation given is MMC GD infinity infinity. The Kendall's notation, the first index denotes the arrivals to be Poisson, the second index denotes that the departures are Poisson or the service times are exponential. This being a multi-server model, we have the number of servers to be C. The fourth index indicates the queuing discipline, which is general discipline denoted by GD. There is no restriction on the capacity of the system and also on the capacity of the source from where the customers come. For this model, we have the arrival rate lambda n to be defined as lambda for all n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and the service rate mu n is defined as n into mu when n is less than or equal to c. It is defined as c times mu when n is greater than c. We are defining these rates lambda n, mu n, namely the state depending rates as constant rates from the generalized Poisson queuing model. We, as before, we will be borrowing the balance equations and the steady state probability of finding n customers in the system, namely P n, P naught from the generalized Poisson queuing model. Our aim presently is to derive P n and look into the performance measures for this multi-server infinite capacity Markovian queuing model. The generalized Poisson queuing model, we got P n to be lambda naught, lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on, lambda n minus 1 divided by mu 1, mu 2, mu 3 and so on, mu n into P naught, where P naught is given by 1 divided by 1 plus lambda naught by mu 1 plus lambda naught lambda 1 by mu 1 mu 2 and so on to infinity. Substituting the expressions for lambda n and mu n in these general expressions, we get P n to be lambda power n by mu power n into n factorial into P naught, lambda power n by n factorial into c power n minus c into P naught, the case when n is less than or equal to c and greater than c. If you observe here, we defined lambda n equal to lambda for all values of n, but then we defined the service rate mu n to be n into mu when n is less than or equal to c, that is until all the servers are busy. How many servers are there here? C of them are there. So, until all the servers are busy, the rate is defined as n into mu. Once all the C servers are busy, the queue gets formed and so the service rate is defined as C into mu. So, we write C mu as n greater than C for mu n. Now, we have to use these rates in P n and get the expression I showed it to you. Let us look into that now. Lambda n was defined as lambda for all values of n, and mu n was defined as n into mu whenever n is less than c, and whenever n is equal to c or greater than or equal to c, you have c mu. So, we had P n, the general expression, to be lambda naught, lambda 1, lambda 2 and so on up to lambda n minus 1 divided by mu 1, mu 2, mu 3 and so on up to mu n times P naught. This is true for n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Our aim now is to substitute these expressions for lambda n, mu n in this expression now written for P n and obtain P n in the general case. So, let us do that now. So, P n is, when I put lambda naught, it is lambda, and lambda 1 is again lambda, lambda 2 is lambda and so on, lambda n minus 1 is also lambda. That is because we have defined here lambda n to be equal to lambda for all values of n. It does not matter whether n is less than c, n is equal to c or n is greater than c. So, we have the numerator having lambdas, product of lambdas, how many times? It would be n times, because the rates are lambda naught, lambda 1 and so on up to lambda n minus 1. Hence, in the numerator we have lambda taken product n times. We will see the denominator now. Here we have to differentiate between the cases when n is less than c. So, let us see n less than c, then mu 1 is defined as 1 into mu, because mu n is defined as n into mu in the case when n is less than c. Mu 2 is 2 into mu, mu 3 is 3 into mu and so on, mu n is n into mu. I can remove this 1 into 2 into 3 into and so on up to product n, rewrite this as, now in the numerator I will have it as lambda power n, because we have lambda multiplied n times. So, it becomes lambda power n divided by 1 into 2 into 3 into and so on up to n, this whole thing into mu 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 product, how many times again? N times, because the denominator you have mu 1, mu 2 and so on up to mu n. So, I would write this as mu power n. This is the case when n is less than c, we are still in that. So, this gets simplified to lambda power n by mu power n into 1 by how much now? 1 into 2 into 3 into etc. n is nothing but yes n factorial. So, I would plug in n factorial here. More so, if I define rho as lambda by mu, I would be writing this as rho power n by n factorial. Yes, I do have a P naught outside. So, tag in this P naught here. So, I end up getting the expression P n equal to, maybe I will rewrite here, P n equal to rho power n by n factorial into P naught. This is the case when n is less than c. So, now we are to write a similar expression in the case when n is greater than or equal to c. Let us see that next. We will look into the case when n is greater than or equal to c. Again, we have the expression that lambda n is lambda for all n, correct, and mu n is defined as n mu such that n is less than C, and it is C mu when n is greater than or equal to C. Pn we said is written as lambda naught, lambda 1 and so on, lambda n minus 1, totally n terms in the numerator and n terms in the denominator. Denominator starts with mu 1, mu 2, mu 3 and so on to mu n times P naught. Now, we will have to plug in the expression for n mu as mu when n is less than C, and it is C mu for n greater than or equal to C. We are presently writing the case when n is greater than or equal to C. So, what happens to the numerator? There is no change in the numerator, because whatever be the value of little n, all the lambda n's are going to be lambda throughout. So, we would be writing Pn as lambda into lambda and so on into lambda, how many times here? N times, divided by, remember we are writing the case when n is greater than or equal to C. So, what happens to the terms up to C and more than C? So, we will consider writing mu's for or mu n for n less than C and mu n's for n greater than C. So, the denominator now 1 into mu, 2 into mu, 3 into mu and so on, C minus 1 into mu. These are the terms we have written up to n when it is less than C. Next term would be when n equal to C, it is C mu. When n equal to C plus 1, this would be C mu. When n equal to C plus 2, it will again be C mu. N equal to C plus 3, it will again be C mu and so on, the last term up to nth term. Because this is the case when, I will write here for us to remember, n is greater than C. So, up to C terms we have C mu. So, these are the C terms, and how many C mu's will be there here? This I will write it as C terms. The number of terms are C, and the n which is there with the Pn here, right, that value is greater than C. So, we have C terms and then more than C terms. So, the total number of terms we need is n here in the denominator. We have accounted for the first C terms until C mu. So, the remaining terms product will have n minus C terms. So, what is that finally we are getting here? Pn is equal to lambda power n. This we already noted, right, because there are totally n terms in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Lambda power n in the numerator, denominator will separate out the numbers and the mu's. So, for the first C terms we will get it as 1 into 2 into 3 and so on, C minus 1 into C, and then C into C into C and so on, C, how many terms? N minus C terms. And how many mu's are there now? Mu's are totally n terms. So, we will rewrite this as mu power n. P naught of course is hanging here, P naught I have written now. So, P naught. So, what is that we get now? Pn equal to lambda power n by mu power n, which we will write it as rho power n into P naught. But observe that this 1 into 2 into 3 etc. up to C can be written as C factorial, and the remaining terms are only product of C's. How many terms? N minus C. Let us take a break here. Meanwhile, you can think what would be the final expression of Pn in this case. Welcome back after the break. We were looking into finding Pn in the case when n is greater than C for a multi-server infinite capacity Markovian queuing model. Pn, we got it as lambda power n by mu power n into 1 into 2 into 3 etc. up to C, and then product of C's for n minus C terms into P naught. This is the case when n is greater than C. So, when I put rho equal to lambda by mu, I would get Pn as rho power n by this factor 1 into 2 into 3 etc. up to C can be written as C factorial. This can be written as, namely, C product taken up to n minus C times can be written as C power n minus C times P naught, the case when n is greater than C. So, put together we can summarize Pn now to be equal to rho power n by n factorial into P naught when n is less than C. Equality can be put in the both places, it does not matter. So, n is less than C. The other factor what we found out now is rho power n divided by C factorial into C power n minus C times P naught. This is the case when, say, n is greater than or equal to C. So, this is the expression we found out earlier. Pn equal to lambda power n by mu power n into n factorial into P naught when n is less than or equal to C. When n is greater than C, we have lambda power n by n factorial into C power n minus C into mu power n into P naught. But still we are not through with what we had to find, namely Pn, because the unknown factor P naught still remains. So, how to find that? We have to use the normalizing condition, namely summation over n equal to 0 to infinity Pn is equal to 1, that is the sum of total probabilities is equal to 1. So, that is what we have here, namely P naught has been obtained or simplified as this expression. You see that here we have sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1, and this expression comprises for n equal to C to infinity. Let us see this derivation now. To find P naught, use the condition sigma n equal to 0 to infinity Pn equal to 1. This can be split into two parts, namely 0 to C minus 1 Pn plus sigma n equal to C to infinity Pn equal to 1. Why we have to split in this case? Because the expressions for Pn are different in these cases. What was Pn for us in both the cases? We had Pn equal to rho power n by n factorial into P naught when n is less than C, and this is equal to rho power n by C power n minus C by C factorial into P naught when n is greater than or equal to C. So, use that here we have this implies that sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial into P naught plus here sigma n equal to C to infinity rho power n by C factorial C power n minus C times P naught. This is equal to 1. This is the normalizing condition. The first term we cannot do anything, it simply remains as it is. In the second term probably we can simplify this. So, consider only the second term. So, sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 remains as it is rho power n by n factorial into P naught plus I will remove the factors which are independent of the summation variable n. So, that is 1 by C factorial P naught sigma n equal to C to infinity. I will rewrite this rho power n as rho power n minus C plus C divided by C power n minus C, whole thing is equal to 1. Now, this further simplifies to sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial into P naught plus rho power C can be taken out by C factorial into P naught sigma n equal to C to infinity rho by C power n minus C is equal to 1. This further can be written as sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial into P naught plus rho power C by C factorial into P naught sigma n equal to C to infinity rho by C power n minus C. This is equal to 1. Now, when I substitute n equal to C, what would be the first term here? I will rewrite this 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial into P naught plus rho power C by C factorial into P naught. I will expand this. The first term would be rho by C power 0, which is 1, plus second term would be rho by C power, when you put n equal to C plus 1, we get C plus 1 minus C to be 1. Second term would hence be C plus 2 minus C. So, we will have rho by C power 2 and so on infinite series. This whole thing is equal to 1, but identify this as a geometric series whose sum is 1 by 1 minus rho by C. So, use that here, we get sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial, P naught is common throughout, so I will take it out finally, plus rho power C by C factorial 1 by 1 minus rho by C would be the summation inside this bracket here. So, this whole thing into P naught is equal to 1. This further implies that P naught is equal to 1 divided by or sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial plus rho power C by C factorial 1 minus rho by C the whole power minus 1. So, this is the expression we have for P naught to be sigma n equal to 0 to C minus 1 rho power n by n factorial plus rho power C by C factorial into 1 by 1 minus rho by C, the whole thing raised to the power of minus 1. So, with the determination of P naught as this expression given here, we are completely through with the information that probability of finding n customers in the system in the steady state for the multi-server infinite capacity model to be complete. Our next step would be to find the performance measures, for which we are to find LQ, namely the steady state average number of customers in the queue, namely LQ is the notation we use. So, this is defined as sigma n equal to C to infinity n minus C into Pn. Why this n minus C into Pn? Expectation is always sigma n into Pn, but then we are trying to find the expected size or the expected number of customers in the queue in the steady state. So, when will the queue get formed? Only when there are at least C customers in the system. Why the C customers? Because this is a multi-server model where the total number of servers available are C. So, we are to find LQ as sigma n equal to C to infinity n minus C into Pn. Once again, why this Pn here? Why not Pn minus C? Here we are considering n, from that subtracting C the number of servers. So, still we are using that there are n customers in the system. So, we have to multiply only with Pn. So, n minus C onwards the numbers give you the number in the queue. So, let us look into this now. So, LQ is defined as summation n equal to C to infinity n minus C times Pn. But what is Pn? Here we are considering n from C to infinity, because if you take n equal to 0 to infinity, the number will be less than C and it is going to be negative, and it does not have a meaning here, because the queue gets formed only when there are at least C customers in the system. So, we are to write n equal to C to infinity, in which case we are indirectly asking for PC onwards, PC plus 1 onwards. So, we have to plug in the expression for Pn in the case when n is greater than or equal to C. In this case, we have Pn to be written as rho power C by C factorial into 1 by 1 minus rho by C into P naught. This is the case when n equal to C, C plus 1 etc. up to infinity. So, LQ will be equal to summation n equal to C to infinity n minus C times rho power C by C factorial 1 by 1 minus rho by C into P naught. Take out the terms which are not dependent on n. So, at this stage I will leave it as an exercise to you to find LQ, and let us see how you get the required answer in the next lecture. So, presently in this part we have seen the derivation of the steady state probability of finding n customers in the system for the multi-server infinite capacity Markovian queuing model. We are in the process of deriving the performance measure, the expected queue size in the steady state for the multi-server Markovian queuing model with infinite capacity. Thank you.